In the grand tapestry of American wealth and influence, certain names resonate with a particular weight. Their stories intertwined with the very fabric of industry and society. Julia Koch is one such name, a figure who transitioned from a relatively private existence into one of the most prominent and wealthy women in the world. Her journey is not one of a self-made industrialist in the traditional sense, but rather a compelling narrative of circumstance, partnership, and the eventual stewardship of a vast family empire. This essay will trace the timeline of her life, from her early years and initial career, to her marriage into a dynastic family, and ultimately to her role as the inheritor of a colossal fortune. Her story provides a unique lens on family wealth, corporate power, and quiet influence wielded offstage. The path Julia Koch has traveled is marked by distinct, transformative chapters. Julia Margaret Flesher was born in 1962. Her early life was rooted in the American Midwest, growing up in a family that owned a furniture store in Iowa, comfortable, but far from the stratospheric wealth to come. After her family moved to Arkansas, she eventually found her way to New York City, a magnet for ambition. Here, she began laying foundations for her professional life. Her initial foray was through modeling, discipline, presentation, and navigating a fiercely competitive arena. It taught poise and public interaction. She then became an assistant to Adolfo Sardinia, whose clients included First Lady Nancy Reagan. Immersion into the world of the elite. Fittings, schedules, and upper echelon clientele. Discretion, detail, and the subtle codes of conduct. A practical education in luxury and personal branding. Enterprise built on reputation, quality, and powerful connections. Relationship building. Expectation management, and professionalism. In 1991, she was set up on a blind date with David Koch, one of the principal owners of Koch Industries. He was a towering figure in business and political circles, 22 years her senior and a famed bachelor. A slow start, until they met again and a relationship blossomed. Two worlds, fashion and style, and heavy industry, complex finance, and influence. They married in May 1996, formally joining Julia to a private industrial dynasty. The marriage changed her status and responsibilities. She became Mrs. David Koch, partner to a man worth tens of billions, and co-owner of Koch Industries. She stepped from fashion assistant to corporate matriarch, households to run, a family to raise, and a social circuit across New York, Palm Beach, and Aspen. Not passive, she partnered in his public and philanthropic life, galas, openings and fundraisers, hosting leaders and artists, cultivating image and networks vital to business and philanthropy. She learned managing immense assets and large-scale giving, becoming insider to the family's long-term vision and values. The most significant financial event came on August 23, 2019, the day her husband passed away at 79. A substantial portion of his assets transferred to his heirs, including a 42% stake in Koch Industries. She became one of the richest individuals on the planet. Julia Koch's wealth is anchored in the tangible operations of Koch Industries, a diversified conglomerate with global reach. Founded by Fred C. Koch, expanded by Charles and David, far beyond refining. Energy and resources, oil refineries, thousands of miles of pipelines, crude natural gas, refined products, storage and distribution, chemicals, fertilizers, polymers, and fibers powering everyday products. Through Invista, nylon, spandex, and polyester, found in carpeting, clothing, airbags. Georgia Pacific, brawny paper towels, Dixie cups, plywood, and gypsum board. Manufacturing and tech, heat exchangers, industrial burners, advanced electronics, sensors, smart devices, medical equipment. Molex supplies automotive, consumer electronics, and data communications, essential components, steady demand. Koch Equity Development, investing like private equity, backed by industrial cash flows. constant search for growth keeps Koch evolving. Her 42% stake ties to a dynamic ecosystem of interlinked businesses. As a private company, value derives from revenues, assets, and profits, not daily market swings. Family governance preserves control and enables multi-decade compounding. The family historically reinvests the vast majority of earnings back into the enterprise. Diversification across sectors stabilizes long-term growth. Lesson 1. Relationships are capital. Build and nurture networks that open doors. Lesson 2. Think in decades. Patient reinvestment fuels compounding. Lesson 3. Own productive assets that generate durable cash flows. Lesson 4. Protect the enterprise. Succession and asset protection prevent forced sales and fragmentation. Lesson 5. Strategic philanthropy builds goodwill and legacy while advancing real outcomes. Lesson 6. Practice discretion. Quiet influence reduces controversy and preserves focus. Career progression. Fashion assistant to society leader to principal owner. Business development. Reinvest, diversify, acquire, and evolve. Financial success, net worth in the tens of billions, tied to an industrial powerhouse. Financial advice distilled, relationships, time, productive assets, protection, philanthropy, discretion. From private life to quiet stewardship of a modern industrial empire.